Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Friday? Wild Bill says just wanted to jump in and say hello. Not feeling well today and was about to head to bed. Man, I'm telling you something. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I hope you do start feeling well here pretty quick. But everybody's got that bug that's been going around. You know, the bug that made me, okay, I'll tell you. You know, I have to show the Frankenstein symbol for a week. And I'm still, I mean, I'm over it all, but there's still remnants of that. And I didn't have no fever. I didn't have no nothing. And I'm a little tired, fatigued. Who knows what it is? Who cares? I just want it to be gone. And that's all I can tell you. Oh, his says this is a stomach issue. Well, I don't know what to do about those except Zantac and Imodium and I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about no stomach issues. But yeah, just go to bed and fluids or something. I mean, it's something that you can do. I don't know what it is, but there's something. But I hope that gets better for you. I don't know if it would help to have tearful, stuttering John wish that you get better. You know, I had a friend who, he always looks up in the air when he's tearful, stuttering John. I had a friend who had a stomach ache, and I just remember. Anyway, Wild Bill, we're all pulling for you. And, you know, hope you're feeling better. Sunday, Jenna is here. Wild Bill says, have a great show, and we'll see you on Monday. Well, let's not overdo it. Great show, really? How often does that happen? Sunday, Jenna, I actually have been watching a whole bunch of Robert Klein concerts, and last night was the one with the Sunday Kind of Love full version in it. Just for some reason that song's chasing me. Diana Jean O'Brien, who's from Shrewsbury, Shropshire in England, is wishing Reverend Wild Bill a get well soon and get well soon. At least you don't have to hear about Krakatoa, or maybe your stomach feels like Krakatoa. I have been goofing around with I have this really weird thing. It stems from my childhood, I guess, like most weird things do. When I was a kid, my grandfather gave me a little transistor radio. It was just probably about that big. And I mean, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And I had a little headphone, a little earpiece for it, solid state transistor radio. And I started getting a whole bunch of little tiny radios. Now I have another one that, in fact, I have a couple. I have one that I gave one away. It was a Grundig, and I gave it to somebody. I have another one that you put on your arm. It's a Sony, and it's got weather. It might even have TV band on. I don't think it has TV band on. It's got weather, AM and FM, and it came with a strap, so you could strap it to your arm and run with it. And then I have this one here, which is a little Sangean. It's just a little tiny thing here, as you can tell. But I can listen to my station, the fancy station I work on.
With snow and Arctic cold in a moment, but first, the stunning new indictment of Alec Baldwin. Why prosecutors once again charge the actor with involuntary manslaughter.
Who cares? I don't know why I brought that up, other than it's so tiny and wonderful, and it gets really good reception, by the way. So this is the station that I work on here.
To Philadelphia to New York, those snowy roadways with a backdrop.
And then Let's see here. What's that other station? Oh, here we go.
Such great tribulations in his life. This is a way that people will often.
Let me see here. Let's see, I think 11. No, I need to go to. Come on. 820. Yeah, there it is.
Grammy Award winner Erykah Badu is partnering with the DART transit system to
I
celebrate
just-
her upcoming birthday and increase
I'm sorry. I just love these little radios. I love them to death. I really do. And they're nice if the power goes off. All right, enough of that. It was just here on the desk. I don't know why I brought it up. Sven Dunkel, who we haven't seen in ages, says, "Hi, Tom. Long time no see." He's watching on Facebook. And then there's Diana Jean O'Brien said, "I had one too, Tom. I used to listen to Radio Luxembourg." Well, over in Europe, you can get all sorts of stuff. This one has 19 memory presets and a PLL synthesized receiver. It's a Sangean. I had the Grundig one I had. I've had Grundigs before when I was very young, and they were awesome, and I don't think they're awesome anymore. That one wasn't near as good as this one. I also have a Sangean little unit in my bedroom, right next to my bed. And it, for some reason, isn't, I don't know, it's hard to tune the stations in. You get a lot of stations, and if you're very, very subtle with the tuning, you can get good stuff, but otherwise. Anyway, as you see behind me, there's a giant explosion. Let me see if I can get out of the way for some. There's a big giant explosion. Don't know of how many of you have heard about Krakatoa, but let's see, my uncle used to fix the channels so I can hear the police channels. Well, I can get the police scanner ones, but I don't. I get a separate unit when I do that. But I don't really want to listen to those anyways. I'm sorry, kids. I got to get up early in the morning and go do the news all over Texas, and then the next day all over Dallas and Fort Worth. And for that reason, I don't even want to think about the police reports. Anyway, let me tell you about Krakatoa, east of Java. Molten bodies, fiery lava. Anybody? Any B-52? No? Okay. So it was way back in 1883 when, the eruption of Krakatoa occurred. And Krakatoa, kind of a big island, but really more like three very closely placed islands. And in the Indian Ocean, I would give you a date of when this happened, except I can't, because the eruption of Krakatoa lasted from May 20th to October 21st, 1883, with the peak being on the morning of August 27th, which we'll get to in a second. Now, this baby was easily one of, if not the most deadly and most destructive volcanic event in the history of mankind on Earth. You want some examples? I got them. The explosion was heard 2,000 miles away in Australia and 3,000 miles away in Mauritius. The acoustic pressure from this explosion, it created a pressure wave that circled the globe more than 3 times. At least 36,417 deaths are attributed to the eruption and the subsequent tsunamis. And as I'll tell you in a minute, that is a very conservative total. In the years leading up to the 1883 eruption, seismic activity had been ramping up on Krakatoa. Then on the 20th of May, 1883, steam started venting from Krakatoa. And I don't mean a little bit of steam. I mean steam rising into the sky that you could see from miles and miles and miles away. Eruptions of ash went about 20,000 feet in the air with explosions. This is just the starting. Heard 100 miles away, but Krakatoa was just getting warmed up. More eruptions began on June 16th or so, and these were big explosions, and a thick black cloud covered the island for 5 days. You couldn't even see the island. A wind came through about 8 days later, clearing the clouds away, revealing 2 giant columns of ash going into the sky, thought to be brand new vents forming on the island. So there was a lot of stuff going on under the surface here. Nearby ships had to be moored with chains because of the seismic activity, and large masses of pumice started to collect in the western Indian Ocean. Now, pumice is basically volcanic rock that's been turned nearly to glass, okay? And it's very porous, so it can kind of float, but kind of not. Anyway, big masses of that are collecting in places in the western Indian Ocean. And nearby islands, not on Krakatoa, but nearby, had a layer of ash a foot thick with the destruction of all plant life, because this ash is hot when it lands and it just burns everything that's underneath it or smothers it. Around the 25th of August, things got even more intense, especially the eruptions. By the next day, the 26th, a black ash cloud could be seen 17 miles high. The eruptions at this point were nearly continuous, okay, with huge explosions heard and felt every 10 minutes. Ships within 15 miles away had heavy ash falling on them with 4-inch pieces of pumice, so about yay big. Well, probably about as big as my little radio friend here. What's going on with my... There we go. 4-inch pieces of hot, on-fire pumice landing on their deck. By that night, a tsunami hit Java and another one hit Sumatra, 25 miles away. But the big climax would come next, August 27th. 4 enormous explosions. The first one triggering a gigantic tsunami. The second one sending another tsunami east and west. Not just one direction, both directions. The third explosion, though, was the largest. That's the one that was heard 2,000 and 3,000 miles away, respectively. And that explosion is thought to be the loudest sound in human history. The loudest sound that was ever created, ever, by anything, ever, was that third explosion. Now, the tsunamis that were created from these explosions and eruptions were 30 meters high in some place, which is almost 150 yards. And that isn't even, we haven't even started talking about the pyroclastic flows from the volcano, which is superheated gas and clouds that not only covered that island, but went across the ocean and hit other islands. And that just basically burns to death anything. You can't breathe. You're dead if you get hit by a pyroclastic flow. You're not only unable to breathe, but it just cooks you alive. The energy released from this explosion is estimated to be equal to 200 megatons of TNT, making it 4 times more powerful than the most massive thermonuclear weapon ever detonated. So the most massive nuclear weapon ever, this was 4 times as powerful. 1,000 people were killed in Sumatra. On the island of Sabisi, none of the 3,000 people there survived. Human skeletons were floating across the Indian Ocean on rafts of volcanic pumice, and washing up on the east coast of Africa up to 1 year later. Yeah. Victims' bodies were floating in the ocean for months after the big event. The town of Merak was destroyed by a 46-meter-high tsunami. At the end, most of the island or islands of Krakatoa were gone, and a rain of hot ash continued for some time. It didn't just stop for several days, several cubic kilometers. So several cubic, let's just go ahead and say miles of earth entered the sea, earth, rock, whatever was made up, of the island. And the rest was blown into the atmosphere in the form of dust. The eruption caused a volcanic winter. Lower temperatures and record rainfall reached as far as southern California. And this is in the Indian Ocean. A ton of sulfur, more than a ton, immense amounts of sulfur dioxide were put into the stratosphere, causing excessive acid rain. The skies were darkened worldwide and produced spectacular sunsets worldwide for many, many, many months. The moon appeared to be blue and green for several years after the eruptions because the clouds, due to the type of minerals that were put into the atmosphere by the eruption of Krakatoa, those clouds would now only allow certain colors to pass through them. 36,000 people were said to have died from the eruption of Krakatoa, although another estimate puts it at 120,000 people. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just show you a few more pictures, is the story of Krakatoa. Now, this here is just an artist's depiction of the eruption of Krakatoa. This is a big giant chunk of coral that was blown out of the sea onto another island by the eruption. See that little guy there standing over to the right? Yeah, that's just a big piece of the coral bed that was blown out of the ocean by this eruption. Here is an example of what the clouds and the skies looked like for a long time after the eruption of Krakatoa. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Krakatoa. Was expecting for a 10-year-old kid. Okay, I remember all the airports were closed. Terry Nee said they never met my neighbors. Well, there's loud and then there's loud. Sandy Eastman is here. My good friend, Sandy Eastman. I called your phone number a couple months ago, but there was no answer. He said your favorite, the East Side Cannery, no longer open. You mean the East Side Scammery? Good. I'm glad they're not open anymore. Hey, the Kahuna's here. Says, hey, Tom. Hey, gang. Diana Bryant says, wow. Yeah, wow indeed. So that is the story of Krakatoa, east of Java. Molten bodies, fiery lava. Anybody B-52 fans? Let's see here. RJ Kelly says, "G'day, mate. Hope you're well and having a good evening." I am. I hope your jockeying is going well. He's a big famous jockey over in Australia, is RJ Kelly. Mother Nature can be vicious, says Sunday Jenna. You got that right. Boy, do you got that right. Let me tell you. So, there you go. Krakatoa. Loudest sound ever. Ever generated. Ever. Anywhere. Ever. Anywhere, ever. I had some people come to my home today that I did not appreciate. Do you ever get in a situation where you're trying not to be a jerk, but somebody like kind of forces you into being a jerk? I had somebody come by. I do business with Verizon. That's who I do my cell phone with. And so I'm doing some work, and I hear, because the front door is way far from where I'm at, my office, and I hear someone sort of knock on the front door, I think. Wasn't one of those ones where you definitely know. You know, sometimes you know when someone's knocking on your front door. And other times it's like, is that somebody next door? Is it, is it me? Is it? So they did it once, and it wasn't like a deliberate knock. It was one of those personality knocks, shaving a haircut. So the second time I'm like, okay, I gotta get up. And I'm dressed like I am now. I'm kind of in my pajamas. I'm in a pair of sweats. I didn't have any shoes on. I just had a pair of slippers, and because I'm working at my desk. It's Friday. I don't have to be on camera. And if I did, I would just put a sweater and a jacket on or something that made it look professional. So I go to the door, and there's two guys standing there, and they both have, little name tags on, laminated. And I already know what this is going to be. It's going to be somebody asking me either about my phone service, my internet service, or my electric service. And they're going to tell me that they can get much better rates and blah, blah, blah. I don't do that crap. Okay? I deal with people in a professional manner. I pick my services, and we're done. So this guy, I come to the door, and he can tell. I'm like, okay, guys, what is it? Well, first of all, happy Friday. Yeah, I know it's Friday. I really do. I'm really busy, guys. I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I just need you to cut to the chase on what you're trying to, sell or what you've got for me here. And they're like, okay, first of all, what kind of cell service do you have? And I said, that's not telling me something. That's asking me something. Again, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm really, really busy. And by the way, I had a call that was coming in that I knew was coming in like 5 minutes. And, well, we're here from Verizon. I said, I already do business with Verizon. They do my cell service. Do they do your internet, though? And I went, no. And I'm trying to get to this shutdown as quick as possible. Internet's through Spectrum. I'm on a 3-year contract. Can't break it. I get free basic internet television from Spectrum, and my rate is guaranteed not to change. It's about $70 a month at the rate that I have to, get download speed and upload speed. Really? 3 years? I said, yeah, really. I said, they made me an offer when I first started that I could just sign up for just the internet, or I could get the internet and the TV, and my rate was guaranteed not to change. I'm sure they did that because they want people to use Spectrum television, and they're trying to get that integrated as many places as possible. So I'm on it. 3 years, that's it. Can't change it. Huh. Well, what if I was to tell you, I said, guys, I just told you. Can't change it. Not going to change it. Really. I'm not trying to be a jerk here, but I got stuff going on. And as you mentioned, it is Friday. Only one of us. And then he said something else. And then I said the thing. I was like, okay, now I'm not trying to be nice anymore. I said, you guys, only one of us standing out here in the cold is not getting paid to stand out in the cold. And that's me. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't want what you're selling. I already do business with Verizon, which I am really reconsidering right now. Okay? So, okay. You don't have to be like that. I said, no, apparently I do have to be like that because I've tried to be nice about it 3 times. First thing is, you wouldn't tell me why you were here. Second thing is, you're quizzing me about the services I have with other people as if I owe you that information. And I'm telling you just because I want you out of here, and you're still not getting it. Now you're giving me crap and telling me I don't have to be that way. Leave now. Don't ever come back. Why are you? Look, I wasn't trying to be a jerk, but they just kind of make you be a jerk. And that's what happened. Julian Caesar says, those door-to-door canvassers are annoying. I put no soliciting sign on my door and they still knock. I got one of those too. I didn't even bother pointing that to them, because then I knew it would result in a, what's the definition of a solicitor? Sunny Jet, next time just yell through the door you aren't home at the moment. I should have. Don't give them info. Just say, you'll have to excuse me. I know. I've done that before. When they start their pitch, I just go, you guys have a good day. But I think a million things. The first thing I always think is, what if they actually have a good deal for me? What if I'm just, too closed off to not know that? And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a minute. And the second thing I always think is, what if they key my car or something on the way out because I didn't talk to them at all? Terry Nee says, someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor, open the door and let them in. Not very good singing today. So, here's why I think sometimes I might be missing out on something. When I did get the Spectrum service for this palace that I live in, I still can't believe this. The woman who was talking to me, she said, look, the rate that you want, and I have to have a certain level of upload speed to do this show. Okay. I mean, because I could make do with a lot lower cost of download speed from the various providers if I didn't need that upload speed level to do the show. So I got that plan, the one that I wanted, and it wasn't that bad. I speed test it all the time. It's nowhere close to where it's supposed to be, which doesn't make me happy, but whatever. So when I did that, the woman on the phone goes, now I have a deal for you. We can give you the internet plan that you want, plus we will give you Spectrum Television, the basic Spectrum. It's called Spectrum Essentials or something like that. The basic Spectrum TV plan for free. Okay? Now, if you just get the internet, I can tell you for sure your internet price is definitely going to go up after a year. Okay? Without question. It's definitely going to go up. But if you sign up for the free television, it won't go up for 2 more years. So that's like 3 years that it won't change at all. And I went, nah, I've got Roku TV, I've got Google TV, I've got more TV than I know what to do with. And she goes, maybe I'm not making myself clear. If you don't get the free television package, your internet bill is guaranteed to go up. But if you do get the free television package, it's guaranteed not to go up for 2 more years after your first year. And I went, I know, but I got so much TV already. And she goes, I'm apparently not doing a good job of explaining this. And she explained it one more time, and I really listened the third time, because the first 2 times all I heard was more TV. And I'm like, I don't need more TV, because that's just the way my brain works. And finally, the third time I went, hey, you're actually trying to do me a favor here, aren't you? She's like, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I said, okay, well, then that's what we'll do. So that's the reason I sometimes listen to these people, and I really should just stop. The last person that came through here was trying to switch my electric, And I was just, all I did was pick up the phone, called my electric company and said, I had some people coming over here. They told me about this lowest unit rate thing. And I did look at it, and it is not as low as the plan. And they just lowered my electricity rate. I was done at that point. Karen Garvey says, yes, Karen Garvey, I knew you were the hip one in the room. Krakatoa, east of Java, mountain bodies, fiery lava, fire, fire, burning bright. Turn on your love lava, turn on your lava light. Yes, the B-52s. Thank you, Karen Garvey. You rock, sister. Diana Jean O'Brien says, I have a Ring doorbell now, so I don't open the door unless it's family or delivery. I know it. I should get one of those. The Dabble Jew says, we indeed. We indeed. Anyway, those guys. Peace, we come in peace. He kept saying all this stupid stuff, and I was just looking at him like, look at my face. Look at this haircut. Do I seem like the guy that's going to work on? I had the windows, the blinds open in my office, which I normally don't. And those guys must have walked by and goes, hey, I noticed you got that radio set up and you blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah. You got a card or something? You do a show? If you leave a card out here, I'll check it out. No, yeah, I'm not leaving a card out here. It's okay. I told him the name of the show. He goes, okay. I'm just like, I probably just told some guy, is an identity thief, something, and he's got my address now and my name. Hey, guess what, kids? In about an hour and a half, my good friend, Mr. Chris Abels, is going to have his show Replayables on the Shuli Network. I highly recommend that you watch it. I don't think I'll be able to tonight just because I got to go to sleep because I got to be at the fancy radio place downtown at 5 in the morning, which means I got to get up at 4. But I might be. I might be there. And Chris, for some reason, last episode, when I would type my comments, they were not appearing on your screen. I was there the whole time. So I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. But yeah, it was not appearing on your big board. It's very hurtful that my super witty comments were not appearing. Sorry, I almost got that out with a straight face, but they weren't. Sunday Jen says, oh, hey, Abels. Yeah, this is superstar around here. At least they didn't try to sell me Jesus. No, I already got plenty of Jesus in here. That's the easy one. So that's the one you can get rid of the fastest. Here's $1, buy. Or, hey, I got so much of the Lord in here, you wouldn't even believe it. I got angel food cake in here. Terry Nee says, I went with Verizon Internet because they were willing to run a thick underground fiber optic line 100 yards to my house. Well, this guy started in with, we've got a new tower over here and blah, 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 blah. And I didn't even get into it with him. Like, how come my phone doesn't ring and then I get a missed call? Why don't you explain that to me? I want to get into them. And I got this thing. I've had this plan for I don't know how many years. And I switched my payment card. It's automatic. But you know how your card expires eventually, so you have to put it on your new card. So I put it on my new card. And now, like, whenever I make a call, it does this super annoying thing where it goes, the plan length for this call is unlimited. Like, I know that. I don't need to hear that crap. But whatever. If you're thirsty, he's the guy that can help you. Let's see here. Cryptic, butt type. But hello, Dabble Jew. How you doing? Man, thank you, Tom. Totally understand. Says here. Hello, Abels. Says you've never done anything wrong. Damn YouTube. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. I don't know what the hell happened. Wow. Lyndon says, whoops-a-daisy, sorry. Hello, everyone, says American Cupcake. Lyndon says, hello, Tom. Hi, this is off topic. Would you ever do a show about Benny Hill? I got to tell you, he still cracks me up. I could. I don't know what's stopping me. I just did a show about the loudest explosion sound in the history of mankind, so I don't know why Benny Hill would be. Benny Hill. Man, I'm running out of space to write on this damn thing. These different cards I got here. Benny Hill and the little guy that he would pat on the head. Pat, 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 pat. But Hill's Angels. Let me tell you something. Old teenage Tom really liked those Hill's Angels, if you know what I mean. So sure, why don't we someday? Sunday, Jenna's got a cupcake and something else. Oh, it's for American Cupcake, I'm sure. Terry Nee saying hi to Jenna. But yeah, sure, we could do Benny Hill. What I'd really like to do is Dave Allen at large. I mean, I liked Benny Hill, but I was a bigger favorite of Dave Allen at large joke. Let's see if I can get one Dave Allen at large joke, a funny joke. Let's see here. I don't know if this is going to be a joke. 10 funniest gags. Let me see videos. We don't want... Some of these jokes are too damn long. And some of them are too based in British history that I don't think anybody on this show would... watching my show would get them necessarily. But we'll give it a shot. It could be. It might not be. I don't know. I'm not God. Whoops.
And doesn't understand Irish measures. Because we have the imperial measure over there. It's about twice your double. And he gets into a pub one night. I think I'll pop in and have a drink here with the natives. And he gets flattened. By the time he comes out of the pub, dawn is breaking. And he's miles from wherever he's going. And coming up the road, there's a little donkey and cart. And he goes, "Excuse me." And the little fellow in the cart looks at him and says, "What's wrong with your thumb?" Nothing, it's a gesture. Would you give me a lift, please? Ah, yes, get in there. He said, "Where are you off to?" He said, I'm going to the market, to the pig. So they're juggling along there. And he spots a shotgun in the bottom of the cart. And the English are very wary of Irish with guns. He said, "Well, why do you have the gun down there?" And he said, "Well, you see, when I'm driving to the market in the early morning, you'll see pheasant and partridges and hares and rabbits, and I just pick it up and shoot them and take it home for dinner. Very simple." And just then a truck comes around the corner and goes, boom, right into the donkey and cart. And carries off. And the little farmer picks himself up at the ground and he looks at his donkey that's lying there with a broken leg. And he goes, "Oh, God darn it. Look at me little donkey with his broken leg. I'll have to put you out of your misery." And he picks up the shotgun, boom, looks at the pig, which is lying there with blood pouring out of the nostrils. And he goes, "I'd never get a penny for that at the market." Boom, looks at the Englishman who's lying in the ditch. Broken leg, broken arm, sliced across the head. He said, "Are you all right?" He said, "I've never felt better in my life."
So for those of you who don't know, Dave Allen had a program where he did largely what you see him doing there. There were little skits. There's a few little skits that would be on this show. But a lot of his show was him just sitting in a chair telling jokes. And he was a master storyteller. And so, yes, I will do a Benny Hill show. But, of course, at some time, I might want to do a Dave Allen show. And I highly recommend, for those of you who like Benny Hill, Benny Hill's a lot of slapstick and things of that nature. Nothing wrong with that. Very, very funny. But if you like something a little more intellectual, I guess you might say, Dave Allen would be the way to go. Dave Allen would be the way to go. Very, very funny. And, of course, one of our people from the UK that's been a great supporter of this show, Diana Jean O'Brien, says, oh, yes, Dave Allen was awesome. Missing a finger, too. Karen Garvey is saying hello, and Diana Jean O'Brien says, so good. Yes, Dave Allen, geez, was he funny. Funny man. But yeah, anything you guys want, I'll do a show about it. I've got, I've got the Tang, which is a submarine disaster, the Thresher, Paul Walker, Jed Smock, the Thalidomide Babies, Lenny Bruce. Somebody wants me to do a show on the AMC Pacer, the Gremlin, and the Hornet, the Pete Rose Scandal, the 1919 Black Sox, the Brushy Bill Roberts, the Fake Jesse James. The Fake Jesse James is, I've looked into it. It's an interesting story, but there's not a lot of meat on that bone. We did the Kansas City Skywalk collapse. We've got the Texas A&M bonfire collapse. There's a Kansas City Confederate prison collapse. Yakov Smirnoff. I don't think we're going to do a show on Yakov Smirnoff. Nutty Putty Cave I already did. The Indiana Pacers telethon that saved the Pacers. Bud Dwyer got Benny Hill down here. The rest of the food floods. The beer chocolate flood, the beer flood, and the whiskey flood. Oops, Jim Bailey already did that one. Ernie Kovacs. We need to do Ernie Kovacs. Amelia Earhart. I just did the Russian sub, the Kursk, this week. What else we got here? I haven't done that one. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's it. Those are just some of the things. I just thought of Krakatoa today. I thought Krakatoa was a good topic. What do I know? Delcro Chris says the molasses flood. We did the molasses flood already. The great molasses disaster of, what was it, 1913, something like that? Yep, we already did that there in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah. Gino Bryan says, I wish I could think of one to do. Well, Diana, we could do one with, who is the guy? The Moors, the guy that murdered all those girls out on the Moors. Ian Brady, maybe was his name. I'm sure it wasn't Liam Brady. Chris Abel says, have you covered all the links between Lincoln and JFK? There are a number of them. I guess we could do that in February when Lincoln's birthday or President's Day comes up. Lincoln had a secretary named Washington. Washington had a secretary named Lincoln. Lincoln was shot in a theater, and his assassin went to a barn or a warehouse. JFK's assassin was in a barn or warehouse and went to a theater. Both of them were elected in the year that was 60. There's a bunch of links between the two. I think a lot of them are coincidences, but there's enough of them that it's interesting. Terry Nee says, I'm telling you, Yakov Smirnoff has an amazing story as an immigrant to America. Yeah, I know. But he's such a terrible, hacky comic that it's hard for me to want to devote a show to. What a country. In Russia, the TV watches you. And he's so So awful. I'm sure he's got a great story of glory and courage. How old is he? 72. He was a stand-up in the Soviet Union first. His real name isn't even Yakov Smirnov. It's Yakov Naumovich Pulkis. I think he performs in Branson now. He was an art teacher and a comedian. He would be on ships, came in contact with Americans on these ships. His family was allowed to come to America because of an agreement between the USSR and America to exchange wheat for Soviet citizens who wished to defect. At the time, his parents did not speak English. He was almost sent back to USSR when his interpreter mistranslated his occupation. A comedian as party organizer, which immigration authorities might mean he was an organizer for the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. He was a busboy and a bartender at Grossinger's, which is a famous hotel in the Borscht Belt in the Catskill Mountains, living in the employee dormitory. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's not just a regular show business story here. But that's why I'm saying it's just not, I mean, Paul Lynde, I mean, like friggin' Eddie Albert, like I mentioned, drove troop carriers onto the beaches on D-Day. Don Knotts was in the service. Let's see, I lost a bet and went to Branson and saw Smirnoff at his theater. Yeah. Man, well, what about William K. Smith? William K. Smith. You want to talk about a story? A story? You want a story? I'll give you a story. William K. Smith. Let me see here. You want a story? Let's get some images of William K. Smith so you know who he is. William K. Smith, and he just died. When did he die? It's not going to tell me. Poop. William K. Smith was like the bad guy in Every Which Way But Loose. He was in a million movies as the bad guy. Let me just show him to you. Oh, here we go. Come on. Let me just show him to you. Share screen. William K. Smith, actor. Now, you want a story? There's William K. Smith right over there. You see him? If you guys recognize him from old movies and stuff, William K. Smith. I guess he died in 2021. Let me see if I can get you that picture here, maybe a little bit bigger. No, as a matter of fact, I can't get it bigger for you. He was in 60 different movies. Let's see here. I want a big-ass picture of William K. Smith. And of course, this stupid tab's not closing for me fast enough. Come on, just Google. Can you just close the tab without having to memorize everything I've ever done in my life, please? Thank you. Oh, for crying out loud. Thanks. Piece of junk. William K. Smith here. I'll just tell you what. Why don't I just go to his YouTube? I mean, his wiki page. Oh, God. Yeah, take me to the crappy wiki page. Thank you. Thank you. He was in Invasion of the B-Girls. What about that? I don't think there's any more pictures of him. William K. Smith. Listen to this. William K. Smith. Yakov Smirnov. Ha! He was born in 1933 on a cattle ranch. His family later moved to Southern California, where he began his acting career at the age of 8, entering films as a child actor such as The Ghost of Frankenstein, Song of Bernadette, and Meet Me in St. Louis. He served in the United States Air Force. He won the 200-pound arm wrestling championship of the world multiple times and won the United States Air Force weightlifting championship. A lifelong bodybuilder, he was a record holder for reverse curling his own body weight. His trademark arms measured as much as 19 and a half inches. He held a 31-1 record as an amateur boxer. A fluent Russian speaker with a master's degree from UCLA. During the Korean War, Smith was a Russian intercept interrogator and flew secret missions over Russian territory. He was also reportedly fluent in French, German, and Serbo-Croatian. He'd been working on his doctorate when he was offered a contract at MGM. From 1961 to 2014, Smith established himself as a highly prolific and profoundly talented character actor with roles in a diverse range of genres. He was in The Asphalt Jungle. He was on Wagon Train. He was on Gunsmoke. He was one of the stars of Laredo. He was on Hawaii Five-0. He was on Batman, Kung Fu, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, The Rockford Files, The A-Team. He played a major role in the 1976 television miniseries Rich Man, Poor Man, portraying Anthony Falconetti. He was on Kolchak, The Night Stalker. He was on The $6 Million Man, The Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider. Come on, man. He was in an incredible B movie called Invasion of the Bee Girls. He was Clint Eastwood's bare knuckle opponent, Jack Wilson, in Any Which Way You Can, and was the top villainous role in Soviet Spetsnaz commander in Red Dawn. Come on, man. He was in The Outsiders and Rumblefish. I don't want to hear about Yakov Smirnoff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. George Gobel. I'm also not doing a show on George Gobel. Although George Gobel was on the Johnny Carson when I think it was at Sinatra and Dean Martin were wearing tuxes, and he said, "Did you ever feel like the whole world was a tuxedo and you were a brown pair of loafers?" Because he's not as good looking as them. Terry Nee is laughing. So there you are. That's just one off the top of my head. William K. Smith, secret agent, spy, spoke a bunch of languages, boxer, arm wrestling champion of the world. Delco Chris says best flat top in the biz. George Gobel. I wonder if everybody here knows who George Gobel was. Yeah, no, George Gobel was. He did have a flat top. He did have that flat. You can't take the flat top away from him. Let me see if that's a big enough flat top photo. Yeah, I'll share it anyway. I'll share my screen and show you George Gobel's flat top. Share. There you go, George Gobel. Quite a flat top. There he is on Tonight Show. There he is on the Tonight Show. Good old George Gobel. Good old George Gobel. Let's see here. Nancy says, brilliant. Sandy Eastman says, when you something to Vegas, the Golden Nugget is hopping. Sandy's very aware of the fact that when I am in Las Vegas, the only place I have stayed in Las Vegas since 1986 or 7 is the Golden Nugget. And I used to perform at the Tropicana. So that's saying something. Golden Nugget is my spot. And I get let me tell you something. if you always stay in Vegas for that length of time and you join their little preferred customer club or whatever it is, it's nothing special. You just sign up for it. You get a really good room right there. They do kind of stick you on the weekends. They didn't used to, but they do. They don't stick you, but it's nothing like during the week. During the week, I can get as low as like $40 or something like that for a room. Of course, they tack on that stupid $20 resort fee, but sometimes they waive it. But on weekends, they still want you to pay, $100 or whatever. Sometimes a little more, depending on what time of year. But yeah, I loves me the Golden Nugget. That's my spot. That's my spot. I like Fremont Street. I don't like the Strip. I like the old Vegas. Don't you know? That's the way I roll. And by the way, Sandy Eastman's dad used to be, the sheriff or the chief of police in Vegas. He was also the sheriff. Those of you familiar with the film In Cold Blood, the movie and the book by Truman Capote, but the movie with Robert Blake, it's a classic Hollywood film. Her dad in real life, because that movie is about a real life story, her dad in real life was the sheriff in that Kansas, I believe it's Kansas county. Sandy Eastman's got a lot of good stories. She's been around. She knows what's going on. She knows all about Vegas. I hope you got a set of wheels that you like too now, Sandy. Sandy's got grandkids, and she's a big Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Big Pittsburgh Steelers. She got so much Pittsburgh Steeler memorabilia and clothes, it's not even funny. She got hats and shoes and socks and all sorts of stuff. She knows where all the Pittsburgh Steeler places to watch the Pittsburgh Steelers in Vegas are. She's got all that scoped out, man. Sandy's got all that taken care of. I'm telling you what, I've got a muscle pull in my back, and I have to go straight to sleep tonight because I got to be up at 4 a.m. and be on the Texas State Network from 5 a.m. till noon tomorrow. And then I got to zoom my rear end home, go straight to bed, because then the next day I got to be on the air from 5 a.m. till another time, till 1 in the afternoon. 1 in the afternoon. Karen Garvey says, I'm sure Sandy has a terrible towel. She does. Oh my goodness. I didn't even turn my phone lines on today. I'm sure nobody cares. Terry D says, I'll start a prayer chain again. Oh, for me to get through all that? Well, I feel a million times better than I did last week. I feel better, but I'm tired for some reason. It's been a stressful week with silly people. Silly people that I've been dealing with all week. And I was supposed to talk to somebody that I really wanted to talk to, and that person, if you don't reach them like at 6 and 7 in the morning, you don't get to talk to them. And I forgot to do it this morning, so it's going to have to wait until Monday. And yeah, it's just the way it's going. Stuttering John's making a bigger fool of himself. Kate Meany drinking box wine shows up on that show the other night, and that Lemme girl just laid waste to her. Stevie Lou left the program to take a phone call. Big mistake, because when he left, all the gloves were off, and those people just hounded him off of their show. They kept holding his feet to the fire about stuff and really giving it to him back, and he couldn't hack it. So he ran off. And that was after his You know, Quad Father, I had a friend. I was running down the street one day and I saw a girl with the arm crutches. And so as I was driving, I thought you were running. What is it? I saw her in her wheelchair. What? She had the arm crutches, not the wheel. You're just making it up. You're just making it up. But man, did they lay into him. They were just kaboom. He was trying so hard to be Dice Clay, too, and just wasn't working out for him. And I knew when Stevie Lou left, that was bad. He's like sitting there. He comes back online, and he's like, and I'm just like, buddy, you better get off that. You better hang that phone up now. Because the only thing that was keeping those people from throwing your buddy Johnny to the wolves was you. And if you're not there, every single person in that room can lay waste to John, especially as drunk as he was. I mean, that guy is polluted every single day of the week. Every day of the week. And on the air. He's got a problem. Got a bad problem. Old Tom don't drink, but if I did, I wouldn't be doing it on the air. About an hour and 2 minutes from now, it's the Replayables on the Shuli Network. I highly recommend that you watch them. Hey, you know what? Not just Ma Barker, but I saw a thing. I'll just have to open I've got to get a new 3x5 card. Bonnie and Clyde, but Bonnie and Clyde, let's see, Ma Barker. I'll do Ma Barker. I'll do John Dillinger. He's an Indianapolis boy. Well, Shelbyville. I think he's from Shelbyville. He's buried in Indianapolis. I have a little John Dillinger story myself. Bonnie and Clyde, the Barkers, Clyde's brother, Barrow, Butch Barrow, what is it? Anyway, his wife Blanche wrote her life story, and it's really interesting as part of their whole deal. Karen Garvey says it was nice watching a woman put John in his place. It was nice watching her put Kate Meany in her place, too. Because Kate Meany was just being kind of a snot. Delco Chris says, just a little bit of BYB we saw on URS. I almost felt bad for John. Oh, don't do that. The Lady in Red. Oh, the Lady in Red was John Dillinger. Yeah, she was a Hungarian immigrant or something like that. John Dillinger was shot up around East Chicago area. And he was transported back down to Indianapolis, and they had to keep him in a grocery store to keep his body from decomposing. And years later, an ad agency that I worked for bought that building, and my office was predominantly where they kept him. There were actually a couple of other offices that were in that area, but let's see. Karen Garvey said the real story of Ma Barker is so different than the fictional. Yeah, all of those people were just, mama. The Bonnie and Clyde, they were super young and super drinkers. And a lot of the myth that sprang up around Bonnie and Clyde was due to the fact that they took pictures of themselves, and almost all of those pictures, they were just goofing around as a joke. But those pictures, once they had to flee a place they were staying, they shot their way out and they left undeveloped rolls of film. And that's where you get a picture of Bonnie with the cigar and all of them with the submachine guns. That's really not how they were. They were drunk most of the time. They argued a lot, and they played a lot of cards. That's the way it is. Julian Zever says, ever read the book by George Duval, the old 19th century riverboat gambler? I've read excerpts from that book. I've never read the whole thing. That's a tough read, that book, because it's written in the vernacular of the time. It's kind of like reading Huck Finn or Tom Sawyer. It's like you can read it, but you got to do a lot of work to, use the parlance of their day. So anyway, if nobody's got anything else, I should probably let you people have your Friday night off. I should probably let you all prepare to watch most probably made up or sensationalized. Hard to say. It is hard to say, but probably yes. You guys can prepare for the replayables. I don't even have a bunch of great vittles here. And I just went to the grocery store. So I'm not even that hungry. Maybe I'll eat a sandwich just to say I did try to make it to the replayables, but I don't know. I'm running out of steam. It's Friday. I'm old. It's Friday and I'm old, and I got to be on,
at least in the Senate. And I'm hopeful it's going to be the bipartisan package the Senate is going to pass, God willing.
The alleged leader of one cell of a notorious Mexican drug cartel is arrested. CBS's Adrian Bard with the latest on Jose Alberto Garcia.
The alleged crime leader's gang is believed to
Oh, this is the 5-minute top of the hour news.
and killing two in the border town Matamoros.
I don't get to do the 5-minute top of the hour. I only get 3 minutes at the top of the hour. I know. Lyndon says, thank you, Tom. Enjoy your weekend. You guys enjoy your weekend, too. By the way, paypal.me/Tom Gully Show. We love anything you can do for us. Got a great donation earlier this week. I can't really repeat the person's name, but I'm thanking them now. Oh, Lord, more spending by Joe. Well, they're all going to spend.
Gas down in Fort Worth. Good evening. It's 7:03. I know they call it Cowtown. Maybe that's the reason. I'm Austin York, live in the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas 24-hour news center. And I can mention there's more gas problems in Fort Worth, meaning more frustration for business owners.
Crews were called to the intersection of 7th and Commerce Streets on a report of...
It's not 7:03, champ. It's 7:04. I don't know what they're doing over there. None of my business. I'm just the weekend guy. That's all. The weekend guy. Although I will say I'm doing the morning news, so I'm morning drive. Darn, I was trying to get the top of the thing so you guys could listen tomorrow. Sorry, Sunday morning at 6:30 Central Time, which I know you don't really want to do. And then tomorrow, door-to-door sales sounds dangerous in Texas. Yeah, I think it would be. They don't cotton to that. Tomorrow I'm on 130 different stations. There's one, but none of them are here in Dallas because that would compete with our big stations, so we don't need it. Let's see here. One of them is a community radio station. It's got a really cool logo, and they actually play really cool music. It's old school music. Better get ready to turn this off because I'm definitely not licensed to play this. I'm so definitely not licensed to play this music. But I am on it once an hour to trying to open this thing to give you the playlist, because it's, if you like old school music, it's actually a really good station to listen to.
Up ahead to Henderson, and she lays it in. Trinity Henderson up to 4 points, and it's 13-0. Poteet.
There's obviously a basketball game going on now. See, we got 10cc, The Things We Do for Love, Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Aerosmith, Bungle in the Jungle by Jethro Tull, Lean on Me by Club Nouveau, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart by the Bee Gees, Toad the Wet Sprocket with Good Intentions. Mercy, Mercy Me by Marvin Gaye. Walking in Rhythm by the Blackbirds. Shake It Up by the Cars. And Careless Whisper by Wham. So if you like old mixture of music, it's a good station to listen to. And then once every hour, I do a 5-minute news update. Let's see here. If it was from Christopher, that was me. Christopher, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Don't want to use your real name. Do you know how cool that was, man? I that helps me out so much in terms of knowing I'm doing a show here that people like. That is really great. Cowtown, Woodstown, New Jersey. Let's see here. What do you think of shortwave radio? I'm thinking about getting one. Shortwave to listen to? Man, you're asking the wrong person, because I think all radio, ham radio, you name it, I think it's all awesome, and you should have all of it. Sorry, voice to text is awful. Don't worry about it. Diana Bryant says, can't hear you now, Tom. Delco Chris says, you're very welcome. And Diana, I think other people can hear me now. I'm hoping they can. But yes, Chris, that was, man, I'm not monetized. If I was monetized, it'd be easy for people to, give me $1 or something like that. And I know it's a pain in the rear end for people to go to PayPal and do that whole thing. So when somebody like Chris, donates very generously as he did, yeah, the money's nice because it lets me buy equipment and do things and all that. But it's a vote of confidence. That's the thing that it really is. Tyler Grieve says, do you still let viewers call in? Okay, Tyler, I'm going to go ahead and open the phone lines just for you. Diana Bryan says, it's okay, gotcha now. But it's that vote of confidence that, it'd be great to be the Shuley Network and be making enough that you don't have to have your regular job and you can do this because it's way more fun and you can put way more effort into it because you don't have your regular job to do, and you can get video and nicer equipment and on down the line. But until then, I think I can speak for people like myself who just do this. You just want to know that people like what you're doing. That's that some people like what you're doing. Hey, I get it. I don't have 1 million followers on here, but I haven't been doing it that long in this form. And my hope is that I will get more and more and more and more and more as I've done in the past. So we'll see. We'll see. Tyler Grieve, my good friend, Tyler Grieve on Facebook. Tyler, let me just ask you something, Tyler, and I don't want to make too much of this. Do you see the crawl in the actual show? Do you see those words and letters that are scrolling across the bottom? Well, if you wait a very short period of time, you will see there is a number. Yes, Tyler. Yes. Now, I've opened up my software, and just for you, so that if you would like, you can call in. If you're not going to call in, then you just tell old Tom, and I'll close the software, and never more shall we speak of it. I actually forgot to open it up this show. We don't get as many callers as I'd like, to be honest with you. But I do have it open, and I do, go to the expense of having a call-in line. For reasons I have no idea why I have that. It's just no. So, as I say, if you're gonna call in, then call. But if you're not gonna call in, just say so. Bear with you. B-A-R-E, bear. How about if I BEAR with you? How about that instead? Chief. Tyler, this is we're getting close to your being in Trevor Garner territory here. This is not exactly riveting radio, so bear with me. You know, I'm going to call in. It's hard because I'm in the UK. Tyler, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You don't have to do that. I appreciate you being in the UK and wanting to call in, but you don't have to. You don't have to do that. That's going to be a pain in the rear end for you to call in from the UK. It really is. Let's do it another time or whatever. I don't know what we would talk about. So thank you for the offer, but next time, I start this program Monday through Friday at 6 Central Time here in the United States. And I'm going to tell you, Tyler, exactly what time that is in the UK. 6 Central p.m. in the U.S. is what time in London? Because the whole UK is on one giant time zone, I think. I always forget. Sometimes it's 6 hours, sometimes it's 7 hours. By the way, go Arsenal tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners. So, 6 Central Time is midnight. So this show starts at midnight in London. You can make your thing. You figured it out. Well, Tyler, sorry, but I already closed down that software. See, Tyler, one of the things, God dog it, I'm too soft-hearted. Okay, I'm opening it back up again. Mother grabber. This does not do wonders for my program, Tyler. This people sitting around waiting for a phone call. It's just about as exciting as it is in real life, which is not very exciting. But it's 1 a.m, 1:15 there, so I'll whatever. Let's see here. Let's see. Julian Caesar had it figured out. Delco Chris is correct. He says, hit the like, hit the subscribe, turn on the notifications. Midnight in London. Good name for an album title. It is. Okay, hold on, Tyler. I don't know why I do this damn show anymore. Ah, dear. We used to am I in the U.S. or Canada? I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm in the United States of America, Tyler. Tyler, you're on my last nerve, buddy. Is it open? Well, hold on. I used to do a show during COVID, especially for the UK. I'd get up at like 9 a.m, so be on in the afternoon for the UK. Right, Diana, if you're still here? Okay, Tyler, we're open. 972-994-6822. We are open right this minute. Yes, open. Open says me. Tyler. Tyler Grieve. Tyler, who is causing me to grieve right now because I'm just vamping here. Yes, Diana says, I love them days. Well, I would do those days again, Diana, except I'm working at the big fancy radio station all weekend. Very hurtful. Gonna get up, it's cold. Terry Nee says, nothing good happens after midnight, as my grandma used to say. Okay, here we go. Here's my good buddy, Tyler. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, brother, come on. It's making me cry. And yeah. Better try again there, Tyler, buddy. Better give me another try there, buckaroo. I know you just tried calling. I don't know what in the hell's wrong with you. Oh, God. I knew this was a bad idea. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it just as much as I know anything. All right, here we go. Come on. Hi, and welcome to the Tom Gully Show. You're on the air.
Oh my God, it's Tom Gully. How you doing, mate? How you doing?
It sure is. Hopefully,
it's Tyler Green or just.
I've suspected that. Hopefully everybody can hear you. Somebody in the chat's going to tell me if they can hear you or not.
Well, yeah, I know. You're getting a bit frustrated, and I could see.
So where are you calling from?
I don't know if you remember, mate. So listen, this was a while ago. I have actually been on your show before. I've been on call. And it was a time when you know when people were raiding Area 51, and then they were pissing about around there. Well, I called up then, and I thought we had to talk about it then. But that was a good few years ago, in 2019.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's been a long time, but I know you've been consistent with it, mate. You've been keeping it up, which is good, mate. You know what I mean? How has it been?
I've been great. Where are you calling from? What part of the UK?
So I'm near Sheffield in the United Kingdom. So it's closer to Manchester.
No, I know where Sheffield is. I know where.
Sheffield, are you?
Yeah, I know. The Blades play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a rather legendary disaster there, Nottingham Forest and Liverpool.
Oh yeah, with the ice hockey. Is that what you're on about?
No, I'm on about the FA Cup match where all the Liverpool.
Oh right.
Yeah, right. All the Liverpool fans.
Sheffield, they had. I think this was about a few months ago. There was an ice hockey match where there were an American team in Sheffield, and there was a fatal accident that happened, and it was on the ring, and he slipped and cut someone's throat up, and that person passed away.
Yes.
That was Sheffield. Yeah.
Yes.
I heard about that. That's crazy.
But Hillsborough is where the famous, I guess it was in 1989, where the 100 people got crushed to death because of
Yeah.
So I'm a big Arsenal fan myself.
Oh no, listen, no, I would disagree with you on that one, mate. I'm Spurs, they're my rivals there.
Oh no, what are you, a Spurs? You can't be a Spurs fan.
Tottenham Spurs. Best team ever, man. That's best team.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm glad Harry Kane got out of there, so he'll finally win a trophy one day.
Oh, you watch football? You watch it all the time?
That's my favorite sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you watch the English? Do you watch the English teams, United Kingdom teams, or do you watch yours more
well, I watch it all, but I really. Arsenal's my favorite team, so I really watch the Premier League more than anything else. And then I keep track of the Championship and League One and League Two a little bit, depending on the team. But yeah, I bet Tottenham. Did you see what Thierry Henry did the other night at the Football Player of the Year awards?
No, mate. I've not really been watching it recently.
Okay, so Thierry Henry was a presenter at the awards, and Lionel Messi won it. And the woman who was presenting with him was a Tottenham fan. And since Messi wasn't there, Thierry Henry said, "You're a Tottenham fan. You're not used to getting trophies, so I'll keep this for him."
Oh, no, sure.
Yeah.
I've not watched it in a while, so I'm not being keeping up with it.
Well, you guys,
are a football fan, aren't you?
You guys got that son. I really don't like him, but
Son, yeah, he's quality, mate.
yeah. Well,
I've got you a question though. This
Yeah.
is related to football, but it's
Sure.
related to America.
Okay.
I want to move to America. Would you recommend doing that, or do you think it's a bad idea?
What do you do for a living?
I'm currently looking for a job at the minute, but I usually do like warehouse jobs and stuff like that. But I'm just in the process of looking for a job at the minute. But the problem is UK. I just don't know. I want to start fresh. I want to start new.
And how old are you?
22 now.
Oh, you're 22. Okay.
I'm just turned 20.
I would say you'll have to do a lot of research, but there are places in the United States, and people in the chat can back me up on this if they want to. Like there's places in the oil industry out in North and South Dakota. They're desperate for people to come out there and work. And you make pretty good money doing it. They will train you, but you're in North or South Dakota. You're in the middle of nowhere, and working in the oil industry. I think the first thing that you would have to do is figure out a way that you can make a living here, and I mean not just working at a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and just barely getting by, but a way that you can make a relatively decent living so that you can...
Well, I mean, I'm not really into like customer service jobs. I prefer to get my hands dirty. You know what I mean? That's my type of job that I go for. I don't really like customer service. I like to like graft and that. It keeps me active and that. So probably that is a good idea, looking into something like that. But I don't know, man. I'm just getting really fed up with UK. I don't know, man. It's just too serious over here. I mean, there's a lot of crimes that happen over here. It's like UK and US are like two complete different places. Like culture's completely different over in America, and here, I don't know, man. A lot of people are too serious nowadays, and it's like, I don't know. Just want to start fresh in it. You know what I mean?
Another thing you might do is check with some companies in the UK that have branches here that need people.
Oh, yeah.
For a while, customer service on the phone was a huge thing here. It still kind of is, but, for instance, a friend of mine works for a large insurance company, and he takes customer service calls all day long. And he does pretty well because he understands their business and is really smart and knows lots about it. So that kind of customer service is there's a big demand for that, for people that have, a lot of knowledge or that can be trained for that kind of a thing. But, I don't know. I know that at first you have to have a work permit to come over here, so you almost have to have a job before you get here.
What's it like then? With a visa and that, do you have to do you have to top it up all the time? I don't know how it works.
Well, the company that you work for has to give you what's called a sponsorship. They have to say, hey, this person is working for our company, and so we are sponsoring them for a work permit. And yes, those do have to be reestablished. Now, when you're over here, you could always, apply for American citizenship. And of course, if you marry an American woman, you're automatically an American citizen. But yes, those do have you do have to reapply for those every year or 18 months or 6 months, depending upon what kind of job that you're doing.
Right. So, would you recommend living in the US? Is it a place you'd consider?
Well, I would, but I am a little bit biased. I've lived here my whole life, and I've seen quite
that's it. Well, you're used to it. It's normal to you, isn't it? You've been there.
Yeah, but I've also
it works same as if like you wanted to come to the UK.
Yeah, but I've also seen, because I play soccer and I'm involved in football, I know of lots of people that have come here from other countries and made very successful lives for themselves. Many of them, when they get here, it's not easy, because you're not necessarily working in a job that's going to pay a tremendous amount of money. So, it's just enough to get by until you work your way up the ladder like you would anywhere else. But I think as far as opportunities, the United States has quite a bit. What I would recommend is I'm going to put these in the chat for you. There are a few online.
Yeah, sure.
There are a few online places that you can look for jobs, and you don't have to apply for them, but you can search and see what's out there. Whoops.
Honestly, mate, it's just my dream to go to America. I've always wanted to do that since I was a kid. I'm just fed up with UK. I don't like it here. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start fresh.
There are job finding websites: Glassdoor, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn. And you can,
I know Indeed, yeah.
You can just look up whatever city or whatever area you might be interested in. If you know someone that lives over here, you might consider coming over and just spending a week or two in the area that they live in and seeing what's like.
I'm actually planning. I've seen these websites online, and it's like you can work there for like a month in summer. And it's like you get paid in that. And I was just thinking, seeing how it is over there, working that month, and then obviously making my mind up if I actually want to live there. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I mean, the United States, it just depends on where you're at. It really depends on where you're at because it's such a big place. Now, if you want to do
like California, would you say California is a good place to live, or do you reckon it's a bit like corrupted?
Well, California is an extremely expensive place to live. The taxes there are extremely high. If you're going to live in Southern California, it's difficult to live just because the cost of living is so high. It's expensive. It's getting an apartment.
What about Indiana? What about like Indiana?
Well, I happen to have grown up in Indianapolis, Indiana. And Indiana is, yes, that's a very good place to be. The cost of living is quite reasonable. You better like very cold winters, but other than that, Indianapolis is a growing place. There are quite a number of national companies that have headquarters there. I know there is a lot of customer service work that goes on in Indianapolis. But there's customer service centers all over the place in the United States. And it's really a matter of if you've done that before and you have a higher level of training, people don't necessarily just want regular customer service anymore. There's places that need it to take calls and handle complaints and things of that nature. What they want are people that are really, really, really smart about doing customer service. That when you call, let's say, Allstate Insurance, that they know everything about the insurance and they know exactly what to tell the person on the other end and how to take care of them. Yeah. I think it's admirable that you want to check out somewhere else. The United States is a place where there are a lot of opportunities. You just have to find the right place.
Huge, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to find the right.
Look at size compared to UK. Size compared to UK in America, it's like double this. Not even that, probably triple size of UK. UK is tiny compared to all other countries.
Yeah, the United States. The United States has about 5 times more people. I believe the UK is about 60 million people, and the United States is
60 million.
330 million people.
Wait, New York has 10 million people. That's correct.
10 to 12 million people, yes. And so, you know,
That's mad, man.
we're also, from a size standpoint, we're much larger than the United Kingdom. We're, you know, 10 times bigger, if not more. You know, but there's a lot of places, Salt Lake City, Utah. There's, you know, places that are sort of off by themselves that aren't very populated. So
Utah, I've actually want to check out Utah.
yeah,
Sounds like pretty interesting, I think.
yeah. So there's places you just have to find. You have to find out the places that are growing. A lot of people from California are moving to Texas right now. Indianapolis is not a bad choice. It's got a good cost of living.
You know what? I'll be real with you. I thought in Indianapolis and Indiana were two different places. I didn't actually know that was the full name to it. So like, I've actually just found some out today. You told me. I thought they were two complete different like cities or states. I didn't know that.
No, Indianapolis is the headquarters.
You told me something today, mate.
Indianapolis is the capital city of Indiana. So
right, okay.
But you need to look at things like, I just pulled up an article here, 10 best places to live. And, you know, you do research as you can. Here's another one. 10 best cities in the U.S. for expats to locate. And one of them is Austin, Texas, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Fayetteville, Arkansas. So you just have to look and check out and see. And then get on Indeed and some of these. Terry Nee here says
Indeed.
Terry Nee says come to Harrisburg, York, Manchester, Lancaster, and Hanover are just south of us. You need to network with people, and man, email these companies and tell them exactly what you have in mind. And you know, that's
a good idea.
That's the way to find out about it, you know. And it always helps if there's a British company that has an American presence. If you can get that British company where you live to find you a job in the United States, because, you know, for whatever reason, they'll be like, hey, this is a person from Great Britain. So if they go to work in the United States, they'll know how we do things and want things done because, you know, they've been here and seen how our thing works. But that's the best advice I can give you.
Yeah, no, spot on, mate, spot on. Well, what I'm going to do is, obviously this year, I'll look into that camp, that summer camp. I'm going to go there, we'll do that for about a month or two. Obviously see how it is. I know I love it, because obviously I know what it's like over there, but obviously get used to it, and then obviously come back, and then I'll just plan it and see where my head's at and see what I want to do. But yeah, I mean, America's been my biggest dream since I was a kid. I've always wanted to do it. I just don't want to live in this shithole anymore.
Yeah, well, and get some training. Get talk to these people at these companies and see whatever training that you can get that puts you ahead of other people that are looking for the same jobs. You know, that really helps too.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not even like coursework at a school that costs you money. They're just willing to train you and get you accreditation. I put those 4 job sites, those job websites that are big over here in the United States.
I'm going to pull your stream really quick and hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the stream open long enough for you to get those, but I put those in there.
Definitely.
I'll put them up on the screen if you want. But those are the ones I put them up on the screen, so they'll be in the video too. So if you don't get them out of the chat, they'll be in the video at the hour and 42-minute mark of this video.
Right.
And you've got people here pulling for you. Diana Jean O'Brien, who's from Shrewsbury, Shropshire, she lives over in the UK. She says all the best of luck to you, Tyler. So,
so I said, well, if you can hear me, Dan, thank you very much.
Yeah, but those are the things. Those are the things I would start with. You know, Is just doing the research, finding out.
Really. Just getting started, isn't it?
Yeah, you can also.
I just don't want to live here anymore.
You can also research what are the top jobs. You know, what jobs are people looking for more than anything over here, and see if any of those are something you'd be interested in.
Does the jobs pay more than what the UK does? Like, does it have higher like wages and stuff like that?
Well,
Would you say?
I think that's it's kind of hard to make that determination. I think the cost of, say for instance, the cost of living in London is super high, as you know. So they have
one
to.
of the most expensive places in the UK.
Yeah, so you have to make a lot more there, and therefore they have to pay you a lot more there. The main thing to consider is, can you survive on what they're offering? In other words, you know, they say a good rule of thumb is that your rent should be no more than a fourth of your monthly income. And then all your other bills should be no more than another fourth, so that you're spending about half of your money just to survive, and the other half you can put away on whatever you need to, or save it. So that's the thing to consider is, can I live my life on this amount of money?
Yeah, well, I'll be real with you. I'm still living with my dad. You know what I mean? Obviously, probably not best to go straight out there and get a place. I'll probably need to get my own place over here, and obviously be more independent of myself. You know, learn out things and stuff like that. But then, yeah, then I would obviously I'd make it work. You know what I mean? I'd definitely make it work.
Tyler, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a 22-year-old living with their parents. If you can do that.
Oh, no. Listen, I've got no problem with that. I'll live with them as long as I want. I mean, it's cheap for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm paying literally £100 a month.
Yeah.
Not at the minute, so I don't have a job.
That's
cheap for me, so I don't mind. You know what I mean?
That's smart, and it's also different than when I was 22 years old, where it was a lot easier to go out and be on your own, financially and in every other way. So yeah, if your parents like having you around and you like being there, I would stay there as long as you possibly. Yeah, stay there.
But at the same time, I do want to get my own space. My own place. I want to have my own space and stuff like that. And I don't know. I am actually just planning to get my own space and that. But yeah, obviously do that and then think about obviously America and that. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it while you're young. You might as well give it a try, because if you.
Well, that's it. I've got all this time ahead of me. I'm still young, 22 years old.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of life ahead of me. So I just want to see what it's like on there and start new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give it a try. If you like it,
different over here.
If you like it over here, give it a try. And if you don't, you can always go back.
I'd be a lot more happier. I'd be a lot more happier in America. I don't know. Yeah. That's what I've been told. People that have moved here have said that they feel a lot more happier, like in America. It just feels different. But honestly, mate, if you were to come to live for like a year in the UK, you won't want to be here. It's just not a good place to live.
Well, one of my best friends just moved back. He grew up in Manchester and had been over here for, I would say, at least 20 years. And he just moved back. And he said, you know what? I love being back because it's my home, but there's a lot of things here that just aren't that great right now. And so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, he said that about America.
No, he said that about the UK.
Oh, right. Yeah,
he grew up in Manchester, moved over here, had his own business over here. COVID really hurt his business, so he shut it down, and he just moved back over there, I'd say a year and a half ago. And he's just like, hey, I love being here because it's my home country and, my family's here, but other than that, it's not that great here at the moment. So I know
it's something like it's just the people as well. I think people over here, they're all aggressive. Like, so for example, like, I'm just giving you an example here. You can walk down the street, right, and if you look at somebody wrong, like if you just look at them, like you're like looking at them, like to like look around. There's some people around here that they won't take, like they'll start things, like cause a problem. Like over here, like if you give one person wrong look, that's it. Like it can be a bad situation. But that's what I mean. America's not like that. It's more like friendly over there. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of gun crimes, but apart from that, it's just people. It's two complete different things. Like the people over here, then compared to America, I feel like.
Well, it just depends on where you live. But if you live in a nice area, you're fine over here. There's people will generally try to help you. But anyway, well, I got to go because I got to be up to work here. And,
I'll back anyway. My phone's about to die.
Oh, okay.
Hey, listen, when I was speaking to you,
yeah, Terry Nee says don't live.
Thank you for all the advice and that.
Terry Nee says don't live in a U.S. city, but I would say don't live in a bad part of a big U.S. city. But Indianapolis, look into Indianapolis. They got probably what you're looking for there.
That's the one, mate. I've got that made, and we'll do that. Well, listen, I'll let you go off, mate. Thank you very much for advice, and I appreciate it.
No, thank you for calling, and good luck to you, and let us know if we can help you out any other way.
Yeah, I'll come in again. Thank you.
Take her easy. Have a good weekend. Oh, there's our good friend Tyler Grieve. He's actually called in here before. I remember. You guys remember when they were having that Area 51 thing where people were talking about going out there and storming the area and stuff? He called in during that period of time. So nice young man. I wish I had more concrete information to give him about wanting to move over here. But I do know if you research it, if you check out British companies that have, branches here, that might be a good start. Also, check out what are the best places to live over here and check out what are the top careers that companies are looking for. That would be my recommendation. But what do I know? I ain't no genius. You might be able to get a headhunter or some sort of career counselor to help you out. But that's the thing about the global marketplace is you can email people, you can get on Teams or Zoom or a number of other things and having those. So let's see here. Rari Insatata says, sad I missed the show before you go. I'm turning 24 this weekend. Any general advice? Starting to feel old. Is that silly? Yes, it's silly. I got socks older than you, brother. I'm old. Old. You're fine. You don't need to feel like you're getting older. If my advice is if you're in your early 20s, try everything that you can. Do everything that you always thought you wanted to. Go for broke, because soon enough, life will require you to do something you have to do. And if you're doing something you also love to do, it'll be easier for you along the way. So don't feel old. Enjoy yourself. Use your head. You know what's right and what's wrong, and put forth effort. The world will not happen around you in the way that you want. If you put forth effort and you put that effort toward figuring out the smartest, best ways to do something, if you go to people that are already doing what you want to do, offer to take them to lunch and say, I got some questions. I'd like to give me some advice. That's the way to go about it. Get information from an expert. Tyler Grieve, Indiana's the place I'm going to go. Thanks for the call, mate. Well, let me know. My whole family lives there. Rari Insatata says YouTube notifications need to work for once. They really do. I'll speak to them. Anyway, that's about all I got. I got to go get some shut-eye. And the replayables on the Shuli Network, starting in about 13 minutes. Highly recommend that program. Tell them Tom sent you. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. You guys have been so generous, so wonderful, as always. I guess probably the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll see you next time.